Okay, so I'm currently doing a challenge on this channel where I have to obtain 50 platinum trophies before the end of 2025, else I'll have to eat a teaspoon of Vegemite. Today I'm platinuming Bioshock Remastered. This game is known for some of its brutal trophies, but also unique gameplay and story. This game has a difficulty of 3 out of 10, depending on how you play the game. A time estimation of 15 hours, and 66 trophies, including 9 missable trophies. Now, this game's platinum is unique in the fact that it doesn't contain phases, because you are able to obtain every trophy throughout your first playthrough of the story. However, this comes at the cost of your experience, because you will not only have to keep track of all missable collectibles, but you have to play the game on survivor difficulty, a difficulty known for its punishing gameplay. Therefore, I think it's only reasonable that I platinum the game in one playthrough. Yeah. Now, I will be doing a difficulty exploit where you can play on any difficulty up until the final cutscene, and then you can quickly switch to survivor, which tricks the game into giving you the trophies. I know, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to be able to enjoy the story and gameplay because I knew nothing about this legendary game. I did, however, decide to play survivor for the first couple levels just to experience the pain and suffering. But then I switched to normal for the rest of the game. So yeah, if you see the difficulty of the enemies decreasing, that's why. Anyway, geez, that intro was long. But before we get into the story, in the main menu, I have to turn off Vita chambers, the respawn checkpoints of this game. This is because there's trophies for completing the game with this setting off, but you can literally just save your game at any point instead of getting checkpoints, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, I chose survivor, and yeah, finally, let's get into the story. We start in 1960, where we are this character Jack, who is just chilling on the plane until it suddenly crashes. As much as I love this game and story, they couldn't have thought of something less generic than a plane crash. Anyway, after pissing off the entire Bioshock fanbase for that take, let's continue. We swim to this mysterious lighthouse, and once we go inside, the doors magically close and reveal this massive statue. Going down these stairs takes us to the bathysphere, and once pulling this lever, we are shown this video, which I'll just give you brief points on. Basically, Bioshock's world called Rapture is an underwater city controlled by crazy people who do crazy experiments on people, allowing them to have spectral powers. Low-key sounds familiar. In all seriousness, the lore of this game is very deep, so I won't be going too in depth. But anyway, we are also then immediately contacted by this guy named Atlas, who is kind of like our tour guide at the moment, and he helps guide us through the city. This first area acts as a tutorial, and we are never able to come back here, so I made sure to grab all missable collectibles in this area. Throughout my playthrough, I would be finding and collecting audio diaries, tonics, weapon upgrades, and a couple other things to help work towards certain trophies. So just know I'm doing that in the background, and I'll mention each collectible when necessary. We find this wrench, and then Atlas tells us to inject ourselves with this plasmid, which immediately causes us to pass out. Once waking up, we now have this electric superpower, so I mean, totally worth it, I guess. I kept making my way through the tutorial section until Atlas kindly asks us to help save his family, which is locked in a bathysphere and Neptune's bounty. So this was our objective for the time being. I then found the 2 missable diaries in this area. These audio diaries will be something I'd be collecting in the background the whole game, because for obtaining all 124 of them, you get the trophy Historian. Anyway, shortly after finding those diaries, we encountered our first little sister and her big daddy, who absolutely mauls this dude. Yes, these things are called Big Daddy. I'll explain their importance later, but for now we loot this corpse and get our first weapon, a pistol. And then after killing a couple enemies, I finally obtained my first trophy for electrocuting an enemy while they're in water. Yes, the trophy is called Toaster in the Tub. This game is kinda dark. Anyway, I then finally reached the end of this level and entered the medical pavilion, the first real level of this game. This also gave me the trophy Completed Welcome. In this level, we are trying to continue through to Neptune's bounty by going through emergency access. So I start making my way there, and on the way I got 2 trophies for hacking the security bot that was in the way. Hacking is a big part of this game, especially on survivor difficulty, because it makes a lot of things easier. You can essentially hack gadgets like turrets, cameras, and security drones to help aid you throughout the levels. And to hack them, you play this little mini game. But anyway, as I said, I got 2 trophies, one for hacking the security bot and one for completing my first successful hack. After continuing through emergency access, we got locked off because we didn't have access, so we had to get this key from this evil doctor. I then found an SMG, which was my main weapon throughout the game. As I was making my way towards this doctor, I got a couple trophies for hacking a vending machine and for hacking a turret. And then once reaching the entrance to the doctor's office, this bomber blows up the entrance, so now I have to find a way to clear the debris. I just keep getting screwed over. What is going on? So Atlas recommends I find telekinesis. So on the way, I got the trophy for hacking a security camera, and then I ended up finding incinerate. These elements are really just laying around. I thought I could use it to melt this ice area I saw earlier, so I did just that. In this new area, I found a shotgun laying on the floor, and upon picking it up, the room went dark and I got jumped by a group of enemies. But after I dealt with that, I finally found the telekinesis plasmid. In this same room, I hacked a safe, which got me another trophy. Anyway, using my new powers, I caught the bomber's grenade and threw it at the debris, allowing me access. Once entering, I found the doctor performing some interesting experiments. He then called me ugly and started shooting me.
An intruder! He is ugly! Ugly! Ugly!
So uncalled for. After a quick fight, I defeated him, which got me the trophy, defeated Dr. Steinman. And then I teabagged his body for calling me ugly. Anyway, we finally got the key, so it's time to head through emergency access. On the way back, we find a little sister being attacked. However, this person named Tenenbaum saves her. She essentially created these things in a nasty experiment gone wrong, and she gives us the task to save all little sisters. Atlas tells us to harvest them for the Atlas, but I actually need to choose to rescue little sisters for a missable trophy later on. Upon each little sister saved, you gain Atom, which is essentially just a different currency, allowing you to buy new plasmids and health upgrades. Anyway, after getting brutally distracted again, I actually head back to emergency access. Wait, there's a big daddy in the way that I can totally avoid. Nah, I'll kill him. Once defeating him, I rescued another little sister. But finally, I gained control to emergency access, and I went through this bathysphere to Neptune's bounty, where hopefully we can save Atlas's family. After arriving, I make my way towards the bathysphere that holds the family until we get stopped by this guy, Peach Wilkins, who says we have to find his research camera in order to enter. He also just gives me a grenade launcher, so I mean, I'll take it. So after passing this really annoying section with heaps of turrets, I find the research camera and take a photo of this enemy for a trophy. This leads us to another missable trophy. This camera lets us take photos of enemies, and each time I do so, I fill up this little research bar. And for the trophy Research PhD, I have to max out this bar for each enemy in the game, including the gadgets and little sisters. Yes, that's right, Bioshock is the one game where you can take photos of little girls and get rewarded for it. Anyway, just know that I'll be doing that in the background the entire game. Before heading to Peach Wilkins, I got a trophy for taking a high quality photo. I also bought another plasmid slot for the trophy Bought One Slot. After all of these side quests, I finally make my way back to Peach Wilkins and he lets me through. But then he tells me to put all my guns in this little container, and I obviously get jumped. I should have expected this. During this fight, I successfully completed 50 hacks for the trophy Skilled Hacker, and then I got another trophy after brutally killing Peach Wilkins. I was able to get my weapons back, and I obtained a trophy for upgrading my weapon. This is another collectible I'd have to make sure to grab in each level. Anyway, I finally reached the family so I could save them. Oh shit, this guy named Andrew Ryan killed Atlas's family, so now we're tasked with hunting down Andrew Ryan to stop him once and for all. I really did not see that coming. We reached this beautiful green level, and I make my way through, making sure to grab all collectibles in the level. I saved these trees from dying, which got me the trophy Restored the Forest, and I obtained some other trophies throughout this level as well. For maxing out 3 different enemies research, I got a trophy for each one. I maxed out a tonic track for a trophy, and then after inventing my first item, I got the trophy Basic Inventor. Nothing else too important happened throughout this level, so we're going to continue on to my favorite level, Fraught Frolic. Yeah, this level has us work for this guy Sander Cohen in order to continue through to finding Andrew Ryan. This whole level is set in the entertainment section of Rapture, and it's goddamn beautiful. Anyway, Sander Cohen tasks us with killing 4 of his disciples and taking photos of their dead corpses to finish his wicked masterpiece. Along the way, I made sure to grab all collectibles as usual, and I obtained some more trophies. I fully researched 2 more enemies for a trophy each, and I fully upgraded a single weapon for a trophy. But anyway, I took down all 3 disciples and placed their photos on the masterpiece to complete it. I must say, it is beautiful, but not as beautiful as the trophy we obtained for completing it. We then meet the man himself, Sander Cohen, and he gives us a gift for our endeavors. You can technically kill him here, but there's a missable trophy later on, so we need to keep him alive. He then just opens the way towards Andrew Ryan. Honestly, what a G. We now head to Hephaestus, the industrial power area of Rapture. I arrive at the entrance to Andrew Ryan's office, and there's just a bunch of dead corpses along the pillars. His office is obviously blocked off, so essentially in this level we have to make a nuke to destroy the core, which will give us access to the office. I'm just going to mention here that this game has some horror elements to it as well, which was really appealing. Like when I enter this room, it goes black, and then when the lights come back on, these enemies make me shit myself. There's tons more like this, but I'll let them be surprises if you play the game for yourself. Anyway, I do the usual things in this area. I grab all collectibles, whilst also obtaining a couple trophies for fully upgrading weapons. But then I eventually finished building the nuke, went up to the core, and destroyed it. Once entering the office, we are thrown for an absolute loop. If you haven't played this game, massive story spoilers are ahead. Anyway, Andrew here reveals that these memories we seem to have, the plane crashing, a family, were all fake. Our character Jack has actually been scientifically created from birth to help a mob boss, Frank Fontaine, take over Rapture. And with the simple words, "would you kindly," taking over our control as a person, forcing us to do whatever action Fontaine sees fit. Andrew enforces his truth by ordering us to kill him, which we do without hesitation. This also gives us the trophy Defeated Andrew Ryan. Absolute cinema. I can't really do this plot twist justice of how unexpected this is. Anyway, after finally killing Andrew, we take his key and put it into this device, ending all corruption, right? Wrong. Our buddy Atlas begins laughing, revealing that he is Frank Fontaine. So every action throughout the entire game that we have done was basically because of Atlas. Double plot twist, goddamn. So obviously putting the key in this device gave control of Rapture to Fontaine, and he then tries to kill us because we're useless to him now. So we escape the facility with the help of a little sister, but after falling down a hole, we pass out. We wake up in Tenenbaum's secret hideout. She saved us and removed most mind control Fontaine had over us. However, we still need to find a cure for any other connections Fontaine has to our mind. So yeah, we're now in in Olympus Heights, where all the luxurious apartments are. Throughout this level, I got a trophy for taking a photo in each research group, and it's here I obtained the missable trophy regarding Sander Cohen. He's in his apartment and he opens up a secret room once you shoot these 2 enemies. In the secret room is Sander himself, where you can kill him for the trophy Found Cohen's Room. I also took a photo of his dead corpse for trophy Irony, and then there's a missable weapon upgrade in here, and it happened to be my 4th maxed out weapon, so that gave me a trophy. After those missable trophies, I made sure to grab all collectibles in this area, and then I found the cure. But then I needed a second dose, so I made my way to Apollo Square, which is essentially the New York of Rapture. Once again, I grabbed all collectibles in this area, and then I found the second cure, which got me the trophy Broke Fontaine's Mind Control. Being all cured, I was able to head to the final level of this game, Point Prometheus. I will say the names for these locations are cool as fuck. It's here where I'll be able to confront Atlas and end this once and for all. Before that though, I have to get through a door with the help of a little sister. So to lure one out, I'm going to become a big daddy. That's right, Vibes the Big Daddy. So in this area, I have to go around grabbing 3 separate parts, and then I can become one. For this being the last area, I got a lot of trophies. I did also have to backtrack to earlier levels for some trophies, but I'm just going to go in order of what I obtained first. So I fully researched Little Sisters and both types of Big Daddies for trophies each, and then it gave me Research PhD for maxing out all research. I then also saved all Little Sisters for the trophy Dealt with Every Little Sister. I do also get a trophy during the final cutscene for saving each one instead of harvesting. But anyway, I finally found and bought all tonics for the trophy Tonic Collector. I then got a trophy for getting 5 fully upgraded weapons, as well as for getting all weapon upgrades. And I finally found all 124 diaries for the trophy Historian. That one felt good because I'd been working towards that the whole game. And finally, I got some miscellaneous trophies. I invented all bullets and 100 items for a trophy each. I bought all plasmid and tonic slots for a trophy, and then I won the jackpot at a slot machine for a trophy, because why not? After obtaining all these trophies and therefore gathering all collectibles, I became a big daddy, yeah. So after luring out a little sister, it opened the door for me. I then just had to escort the little sister through this little section, nothing too interesting. But after that, it was time to face Atlas. Before I go up the elevator though, I thought I'd mention that there is a DLC in this game where you essentially go through these challenge rooms doing specific tasks to earn all trophies for that room. I won't go too in depth, I'll just show you that I did get all of those trophies as well. Anyway, back to defeating Atlas and getting the platinum. Here he is, the man himself in this weird form. We just have to drain him of all of his Adam, fighting him in between drainages. This fight wasn't too hard, I just used all the power I had obtained over the course of the game to easily destroy him. Once I finished the last drain, I did that survivor glitch I told you guys about in the intro, and then he came over ready to destroy us and got absolutely mauled by Little Sisters. But after that, a cutscene plays and I got 7 trophies at once. 1 for defeating Atlas, 4 difficulty related trophies, 2 for hard mode and 2 for survivor mode, 1 for choosing to save each little sister, and finally the sweet platinum trophy. Just in case you were wondering, Jack adopts 5 little sisters and takes them to the surface where he lives out a good life. So yeah, that's Bioshock. Honestly, such a good game. The story was engaging, the gameplay was very unique, and the world building in this game was top tier. I don't really have any criticisms, so I'm going to rate this game an S tier. Thanks for watching, and comment any other games you'd like to see me platinum next. Goodbye.